One, two, three. So, good day, everyone. We are the Group 9, and we're going to present our program named COVID 19 Tracker. So, first, when you downloaded the file, you will be uh, prompted with many different py file and .exe file in our folder. So, before running the main.exe file, you should go and open the database.py in your IDE and change uh, the password that is indicated there. Sabihin ko na. So, as you can see, when you open the database.py in your IDE, you will see at the top that there's host, user, and password. You should change it according to what you set when downloading the MySQL application in your computer. So in our case, the user and password that we set is root. After setting it, you should run it, then go back to the folder. So,
After configuring the database.py, we can now safely execute the COVID-19 tracker application. In the main page, you can choose different buttons, which are User, Admin, Register, About, and Close. In User, we can see the login form that gets the username and the password of the user. In the admin, it's the same. In the register, we can add here the name, age, address, gender, contact number, username, and password of the user able to access the user dashboard. In about, we can see the list of the programmers of this application. And for the close, we simply close the program. Let's try the user. In the user can enter his or her username and password. If it's correct, it will prompt you the dashboard. But if it's not, it will prompt you a login error or wrong input. Please check your entered data. If there is a missing entry box and we click register button, the console will prompt up something is missing, please complete the form. But if it's complete, and we click register, the console says successfully added. Click OK to continue. And the data from the register form will be added to the database.
After clicking the user button, the you can now fill up the username and the password that you fill up in the registration button. After logging in, we can see the dashboard user, in which we can find the health status button, personal information button, contact tracing form button, and show infected button. We can also find the logout button, in which we can close the program. In the health status button, it will show us our current health status as a patient. After clicking exit, we can see our personal information by clicking the personal information button. It will show us the name, age, the location, contact number, gender that we fill up in the registration form. After exiting, we can fill up the contact tracing form, in which It will show us the contact tracing form. After completing the contact tracing form, we can now submit our input data, in which it will record it in the database. Ayan. In the show infected button, we can see users the user the user that is when infected and their city. If we are done in the user dashboard, we can now proceed to log out, in which it will head us back to the main screen. Ayan.
Okay, so when we click the admin button, you will be prompted to enter the username and password. So the only username and password that this will accept is the one that we set in our program. So in our case, the username and password that we set is COVID-19. So after typing it in, you just need to click login and you will be prompted to the admin dashboard. Okay. Uh, In the admin dashboard, you will see a table that will show the numbers or the entries in our database. In the table, you can see a column for user ID, a column for name, gender, contact number, city, and status. You can also see at the lower left of the screen is an entry box wherein you can enter uh, your ID, name, gender, contact number, city, and status. So in the lower right of the admin dashboard, you can see four different buttons. The first one is the add button, second is the update, third is the delete, and lastly is the show infected. So let's try to add an entry to our database. As you can see in the lower left, we added datas to the entry boxes. In our case, you can see that the ID is 20, the name is Luffy, the gender is male, and we added the contact number and city San Mateo Rizal, and the status negative. So to add this to the database, we just need to click the add button. And when you click it, you will be prompted by a message box saying record added successfully. So after closing the message box saying entry added successfully and relaunching the admin dashboard, you can now see that the data that we entered a while ago is now being presented here in the table. It is now added in our database. So if we want to update a record in our database, you can just simply double click the entry that you want to update. So as you can see, when we double click Luffy, it will autofill the entry box in the lower left. And if you want to change some info on this entry, we just need to retype it in the entry box. So let's try typing monkey, and we just need to click the update button. And as you can see, a message box will appear saying record updated successfully. Okay, so after clicking the update button and relaunching the admin dashboard, we can now see that the name of the 20th entry updated from Luffy to Monkey. So now, if we want to delete a record in our database, can just simply double click it again, which will fill up the entry boxes in the lower left, and then click delete, which will prompt a message box that says record delete successfully. Okay. Oh my God. So after clicking the delete button and relaunching the admin dashboard again, we can now see that the 20th entry in our database is now gone. It is not displaying in the table anymore. So, if we have a lot of entries in our database and we want to only show the people who are infected or their status is positive, we can just click the button show infected. And when we click it, it will show a new window that depicts a table, just like in the admin dashboard that uh, displayed the entries in our database, which status is positive.